Hello and welcome to Enterprise Friday on Enterprise Television. I am Kendi Bodurin.
And I am Henry Igwebike.
And thank God it's Friday and we are so delighted to start the day with you. As always, we begin with a quick look at today's newspaper headlines before diving into the main conversation of the day. And trust me, you don't want to miss a moment with us. You can join the conversation by liking, following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. And please don't forget to share. Thank you. So joining us this morning is Barrister His Greatness Agadaigo. He's going to be sharing expert insight on the issues we have before us. You're welcome, sir.
Yes, and just to let you know that His Greatness Agadaigo joins us from Delta State, Nigeria. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here. Truly do appreciate your time.
Good morning, and always a pleasure. Thank you for having me. But like I said, I don't always like barrister being part of the appellation of my name.
Okay.
Barrister lawyers, but my name is simply His Greatness Agadaigo.
His Greatness.
His Greatness Agadaigo. Have you?
Okay. Thank you so very
Enjoy
much.
the show.
Thank you so very much, Barrister,
Thank you.
for that correction. But let's start off today, interestingly, with the papers we have. We have 4 newspapers. Vanguard newspaper, Daily Trust, The Punch, and The Guardian newspaper. So which do you think is good enough for us to start first with?
We can start with The Punch newspaper, right? So on the big story there, we have U.S. votes $413 million for security operations in Nigeria. Others.
Yes, we have on the top story equally, Rivers Assembly fails to resume amid impeachment saga.
Okay, and beneath that we have Rivers crisis, Assembly shelves sitting amid rumored plot against Speaker.
And also, abducted doctor finally in Edo regains freedom after 50 million naira ransom.
Wow. We also have Armed Forces Day. Tinubu governor celebrates soldiers, fallen heroes.
All right, Barrister, let's start with the Armed Forces Remembrance Day. For us, it's becoming more like a culture, more like a tradition to just do it and we move on to the next thing without meaning to the Remembrance Day. Before now, we've seen soldiers, gallant soldiers, lose their lives needlessly, avoidably. Do you think there's constant tradition we do every year while the families of our fallen heroes are going through poverty? Does it truly make any sense, Barrister?
Thank you for that question. And incidentally, I was a participant in this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Thanksgiving service on Sunday in my church, St. Philip's and Church Asaba, in Asaba Diocese in Delta State. They hosted the state Armed Forces Remembrance Day Thanksgiving on Sunday. And even though it is an opportunity for us to remember the sacrifices, the supreme sacrifices of our gallant soldiers who should be regarded as our heroes past, and even our heroes present, and even our heroes in view into the future, because that is the height of patriotism, to lay, you know, the Bible says that greater love has no man than to lay down his life for his friend, to lay down his life for his friend. And of course, I'm sure you know there are very, very few friends who will lay down their lives for their so-called beloved friends. But Nigeria belongs to everybody, and in a way, it's many a times look as if Nigeria belongs to nobody. So for this gallant soldiers to lay down their lives, to pay the supreme price for the nation, is the highest commitment that can be made in furtherance of the doctrine of patriotism. Like you rightly put to me, let me rephrase it. How well can we remember these heroes past? Number one, by learning the right lessons.
Are you still there?
From the needless wars and needless conflicts that they were engaged in that made them, of course, the Biafra War, Aru, I can't remember the third one, but I think one is after no vanquish, no victor, 3 Aru, reconstruction, reconciliation, and then another Aru, mere rhetorics. So the best way to remember our heroes past is for there to be us to go back to the declaration made by retired General Gowon as head of state then, that in Nigeria there should be no victor, no vanquished, there must be reconciliation, there must be reconstruction, and of course the third arrow that I'm sorry I cannot remember, we must put it in place. That is one. Number two, we must show this heroes past showed example of what true patriotism is. They lived it, they exemplified it. So this calls to every person who has the privilege in serving in any position, any public office, in any position for the common good, show true patriotism, whether public servants, whether civil servants, whether ad hoc staffers, show true patriotism. Don't steal from the public till. Use your privileged positions and resources that are accrued to such positions to serve the good of all. Thirdly, again, the heroes past, I'm trying to look at our military security situation today. They will be turning, like people say, they'll be turning in their graves in pain and anguish. So we need to bring this security situation in Nigeria to an abrupt end once and for all. Once and for all. 3. 4. We need to pay more attention, not just attention, but practical attention to ensuring that our officers in service, our military officers, are better taken care of. The situation where we hear that at time, military officers who go to the field, who go to the war front to fight, some are even paid as low as 100,000 or thereabout, is despicable. Is despicable, not at this time in Nigeria. So we must ensure the adequate welfare of our security personnel, adequate welfare of our military personnel. Then the fifth issue I will talk about is that the heroes past died because they want a politically stable Nigeria, an economically stable Nigeria, a Nigeria where there are no second-class citizens, a Nigeria where the good for all will be used for the good of all. In Nigeria, there will be free and fair elections. In Nigeria, where people of goodwill will say the truth and work in conscience. In Nigeria, where the judiciary will be dependable, will be reliable to it. True servants of their true Lord, who are the Nigerian judiciary that can interpret laws the way the people, the majority of the people have intentioned them. A judiciary where only people of integrity will rise to become judges, will rise to become leaders in the echelon of the Nigerian judiciary. That's why these people, not only in the life,
are you still there, Barrister?
Time. And the best way to honor them is to ensure that Nigeria is not only work in progress, but that more importantly, Nigeria is actually working for the good of.
Very well said. That was explicit enough. Thank you so much. So we'll just go to the next newspaper, which is The Guardian. Let's check that. So we have on the first strip, we have Kano Governor Deputy parts ways over defection.
And also how 30% cost spike, drug rationing turned diabetes to vet threat.
Okay, on the big story there, we have how 300% cost spike, drug rotationing turned. Okay, you've taken that. Yes. Armed forces resolute against terrorism, says CDS amid posters about Tinubu's absence.
All right, so let's go to the talking point of Barrister. Fubara's impeachment stalls as lawmakers fail to reconvene. Barrister, is everything turning around against Emiowile at this point? He is the Speaker of the River State House of Assembly, always the strong guy representing Yeson Wike in the hollow chambers. At this point, do you think that things are turning against him? Because that is what it's looking like. What's your take on that, please? Barrister, are you there?
Yes, he might be having network.
I think
we are discussing this issue at the same time. Remain unchanged. My position remains unhinged.
Barrister, we
the last 2 years or so, people have
Are you there, Barrister? Can you still hear us? Because we can't hear you.
The singular factor behind all. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Barrister.
Yes.
Speak on. Yeah.
I don't know where. Where did I stop
on,
let me pick up from there.
No, you can continue your thoughts. You can just flow.
The point I was hinging on was that, in the past 2 years also, some weakest political activities appears to be successful to the extent that they have been projecting whatever his political interests are. But clearly, we all can now see that those successes he has recorded are not out of celestial powers that he has. They are not. The only factor that has made Wike to hold PDP to ransom, hold the governor of Rivers State to ransom, and other activities that he may have appeared successful is just the factor of Bola Ahmed Tinubu buying into whatever he decides to do. It's clear now that without Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the fix, Wike can do nothing. That's what we have seen, and it shows that the support of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has tilted from Nyesom Wike to seemingly lying for Bara. Quietly, silently. The president is not even saying anything. This one, I don't. Body language. He's not saying anything yet. On the day they signed the impeachment notice, one of them who says he has a PhD in political science, he came to Channels Television. I watched him in their political program. Said that there is nothing that will make them to back down from that impeachment because it is not a political affair, but it's a constitutional affair. That the governor has so violated constitutional provisions that they are going to follow.
Guess it's having.
Are you there, Barrister? Yeah, because I'm loving that point that Barrister was trying to raise.
Was really eating the
stating that lots of people are beginning to feel that President Bola Tinubu is having an overriding influence on the matter at hand. I do not know to what extent and to what length that would go, but the truth remains that yes, Wike is really not having the best of time right now as we speak.
And for the fact that the president is just keeping quiet, just like what he has said, what Barrister said, giving this silent treatment, and Minister Wike and Fubara, they are just doing their own thing, and probably maybe they might just be doing it just to call the attention of the president. But what I know is that our president knows what he's doing, because we all know that he's a political person, and he would, in as much as he knows that these two people are trying to do something that would draw his attention, he's like, okay, we'll see the end of it.
Bring it on.
Yes.
All right, Barrister is back with us. Barrister, thank you for being back.
Okay.
Yes, you can finish on your thoughts. Just before we had that little glitch.
Yeah.
So, I don't know whether you are a good Bible scholar, but there's a portion in the Bible, I think John 15:1, it says that if you have
network is really not
giving us our best right now.
Not doing us good this morning, because this topic is very so sensitive, and I think that we needed to have a lucid explanation to some of them, which Barrister is already doing, but network is really a big challenge right now. I hope that he rejoins us and finish up on that particular thought, especially given what's happening, like you did say. President Bola Tinubu is enjoying the game. It's like spectacles, it is like someone who is rested in one corner, and looking at gladiators fighting on his behalf. Yes, Wike, a gladiator, Fubara, a gladiator, all fighting for one man, President Bola Tinubu.
But don't be surprised the president would even say something at the end of the day.
Well, he would say something.
He might even call them, both of them.
He is a political strategist, and he's very more concerned about 2027 and himself. And but what is this to Nigerians and to the River State people? Like I often say, the River State is very pivotal to Nigeria, a very great state that should lead Nigeria, that should be the face of Nigeria, that should brand Nigeria. When I look at some of the Premiership clubs or leagues or matches being played, you usually say visit Rwanda. There's an advert that always comes up. Visit Rwanda. And I've asked the question, why can't we see visit River State? Why can't we see visit Lagos, visit Abuja, visit Enugu, visit Kaduna?
State,
Why can't we see such? And the reason we can't see such is because of the absence of leadership, because they are busy fighting for one man. Barrister, thank you for being back. Network is really a very big challenge for us this morning.
What I was making is that you can see that the River State House of Assembly member, majority force on earth that will stop them, that they have resolved to impeach intervention of courts, no court order, no intervention of security agencies. There was no political meeting where deals were brokered and people agreements were reached. There was only a body language from the president, and immediately years of Wike's allied River State House of Assembly member seized the impeachment proceedings. And of course, the governor was invited. From reports, they said he was invited by the president for a meeting. And when he came back Saturday night, he attended Armed Forces Remembrance service on Sunday and told the congregants not to be worried, that is a non-issue. No, they shouldn't bother themselves. And if who mocked mock and even mock that, oh, maybe this is the last time him and his deputy will attend an official function where they will be recognized as governor and deputy governor. He joked about it. And the next day, impeachment proceedings actually ceased without judiciary, no court order, no ex parte order, no security agency going to seal the Rivers State House of Assembly, no summoned meeting where they now agree on 9-point deal resolution. So you see that then this Rivers State issue, if this have good conscience, is something that would have ended long time ago. Maybe people just trying to give out of state former players advantage, because we have always said that all the president will tell the Yeson Wiki that you are my appointee as my delegates, administer FCT on my behalf. Please, sir, kindly face that duty. Let the governor of Rivers State also face his duty of governing Rivers State. That's all the president ought to have done since 2 years ago. And this crisis, this so-called crisis, will just see, because we lose all forms of relevance. All forms of relevance. So I am thinking, sir, that maybe that is what the president has now finally done. He has now finally told his gated aides in charge of the Federal Capital Territory to now fully concentrate on his duties in the Federal Capital Territory, while Siminalayi Fubara to concentrate on his sworn oath duties as governor of Rivers State. I am thinking that is what has now happened.
All right.
I'm thinking that.
Yes, that's actually a very good observation there. But what would that mean for Yeson Wike at this point? Who said if Siminalayi Fubara is returned back, that his political career is dead? Well, they say there's this place in the Holy Writ that says the God respects what comes out of our mouths. So if it's coming from Yeson Wike and Fubara returns, then it means that his political career is gone. But Barrister will still be here to take us on our main conversation when we return. Major blow to the PDP as Atiku's son joins the APC. That's in the Beat Enterprise Friday. It is ongoing away.
We'll be right back.
It's glad to have you join us yet again on Enterprise Morning today. Let's get to our conversation for today. Abubakar Atiku Abubakar, son of former Vice President and 2023 People's Democratic Party (PDP) presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has defected to the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) and declared support for President Bola Tinubu's re-election bid in 2027. The defection was announced on Thursday at the National Assembly in Abuja, where Abubakar, popularly known as Abba, was formally received by the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barau Jibran and other APC leaders from the Northeast.
Very true. Political observers view the move as a symbolic setback for Atiku Abubakar's future presidential ambition and a strategic gain for the APC, particularly in the Northeast region. Now, addressing party leaders, Abba announced his resignation from the PDP and described his decision to join the APC as historic and personal. He directed members and coordinators of his political platform, the Haske Atiku Organisation, founded in 2022, to immediately defect to the APC and mobilize support for President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda ahead of 2027.
Let's get talking where he still have his witness with us. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for hanging on. And just to let you know, he joins us from Delta State. Thank you, Barrister. Let's get to talking about this move. Lots of people have called it Tales by the Moonlight. That is just but a deflection of attention from Atiku Abubakar. And of course, lots of people will not believe that this is what he should be, that the son of Atiku Abubakar is but a mole planted like other moles within the within the APC to destroy that party. What's your take on this, Barrister?
First of all, it may even surprise you to know that son of Atiku Abubakar, I don't even know him. I don't know him, and he may also not be known to the vast majority of Nigerians.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know Atiku Abubakar has many children. I know that one, I cannot even remember his name. There was one of his father will run again for re-election. One of the sons declared that a time ago. I don't even know whether it's this particular son. But the basic point is that since he's relatively unknown, apart from being the son of our former vice president, that he does not come with much political weight and value. I'm sure you remember, I'm finding it difficult to remember this Article's 8. Just before the 2023 election, this Article's 8 suddenly turned, no, not Bola, before 2023. Bola is just a recent Article's 8 now. So this Article's 8 turned and went to join APC, joined and was even blackmailing Atiku Abubakar. I can't remember the name now, whether Michael or something. Blackmailed Atiku Abubakar and even released some videos that Atiku Abubakar made to, pull him down syndrome. But at the end of the day, that pulling out from Atiku, joining Tinubu and those blackmail, they didn't result so much political value to his new principal and new party. So I think that the truth is that majority of Nigerians have already made up their minds on where they will stand in the 2027 polls. Most especially if it's going to be truly free and fair. They have already made up their minds. It's not really about Atiku Abubakar, it's not really about Obi or the other opposition figures. It's about the life and livelihood of Nigerians.
Yeah.
The simple question, ask yourself, Mr. Henry Igwebike and my friend there, Bodeon, is that from 2023 till now, we have entered 2026, when this government came into place, is your life and livelihood, and the life of your parents, the life of your brothers and sisters, and even the life of your child or children, if you have, are they better or are they worse? If they are better, then you go to APC, you stand by APC. But if they are worse or even much worse, then you will look for anything else other than APC. So it is not really about Atiku's son. He's even clear that he's doing it for his own personal political survival or expedience, not for any general goods, not for any new light that has dawned upon him or his family, or new personal revelation from the Lord.
Okay, but sorry.
It's for personal expedience.
Sorry to interject. Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. But then again, do you think this defection signal a total collapse of the PDP's internal structure as a viable opposition force?
It does not. That's the truth. In fact, the greatest threat, as we speak now, the greatest threat to PDP's collapse, the greatest threat to the ADC now, that appears to be being one of the beneficiaries of the PDP's collapse, the greatest threat to their remaining continuing in sustainable progress. The greatest threat to Labour Party is the Nigerian judiciary. Is the Nigerian judiciary, and I stand to be corrected. And the pronouncement of what I will refer to as bad judgments of court, and delay hearing of suits of national interest. You know, the PDP issue now is not before the Court of Appeal.
Yes.
During the issue of cases that border on River State budget, those cases, the President of the Court of Appeal set up special panel to immediately hear and conclude those cases within 2 months. Within 2 months. For God's sake, the PDP conundrum is 100 times more important than that River State budget issue. Up till now, no date has been fixed for the hearing of PDP issue, PDP internal affairs issue, the true and right leadership of PDP. PDP national office in Abuja is under lock and key by the Nigerian police. It has been sealed, and yet the President of Court of Appeal has not taken that same step she took in immediately fixing a special panel to hear these appeals as to the propriety or otherwise of the Ibadan Convention that took place in November 2025. So what is really happening? And of course, you know that one of the greatest assaults on the Nigerian judiciary now is rising allegation of double standards, that they are in Nigerian judiciary consistently patronize double standard. What they do for A is different from what they do for B. And you remember that the currency issue was heard whether within 45 days or thereabout. The state of emergency issue was heard 6 months, 180 days, even though it was not heard within even 180 days. The suit was filed in March. It promised that immediately after there was no further correspondence from him on why it is not being heard after Easter vacation until, and even NBA conference in August, almost so many lawyers pleaded with the Chief Justice of Nigeria to immediately constitute a panel and fix that case for hearing, whichever way the court will decide, so as to maintain the integrity of the judiciary, that the judiciary does not demonstrate partisanship the judiciary does not maintain and sanction double standards. But that was not done. That was not done. That was not done. Now, again, this is another community locked. And even their gubernatorial candidate, which INEC has previously accepted, INEC turned around to reject for Ekiti state election. So it is the whole ball is in the field, especially the Court of Appeal, and most especially on the President of the Court of Appeal, to immediately constitute a special panel to hear issues that border on the leadership conundrum of PDP with immediate alacrity. Anything short of that, judiciary should demonstrate, accommodate double standard. They may not be able to be faulted. They may not be able to be faulted because as far as everybody, including me, is concerned, the most important case in our courts today is the case of the PDP leadership status conundrum. So the courts must demonstrate that they are responsive to the yearnings, to the demands, to the goals and desire of their masters, of their leaders, of their lords, who are the Nigerian themselves. Courts do not serve themselves. They do not serve special utility vehicle. Courts do not serve special purposes. They are put in place by Nigerian people to serve their lords and masters, who are the same Nigerian people. So they cannot serve their own interests. And that's why courts are forbidden to do what they like. Courts and judges do not do what they like.
But at this point,
it is legally forbidden.
Sorry for interjecting, Barrister. At this point, Barrister, can you hear me? Hello, Barrister, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you too. My question is this.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Barrister. Do you think at this point, PDP would in any way, at any point, field a candidate with the nature the judiciary had placed it today, come 2027?
Like, let me go back to where I was so I can come back properly.
Yeah.
Courts and judges do not do what they wish. You know, in those days of monarchy, we say your wish is my command. Whatever the monarch wishes is our command. So they do as they wish. But times have changed. Those were modern era, Stone Age. Now, courts and judges cannot do what they wish. They are masters and lords, which are the Nigerian people, which are the wishes of the Nigerian people codified into laws with spirit and to satisfy the Nigerian people. So they do what the Nigerian people want. If you have a house help who the day that house help decides not to do what I've gotten to a stage now where I can do what I like, you know that the day that house help will be fired from service is very, very close. So in the same vein, sir, in the same vein, the relationship between public officers, including judges of all our courts and the Nigerian people, is simply a case of master and servant relationship. It's a master and servant relationship in blunt terms. And the servants are the judges, the masters are the Nigerian people. And so the judges must know that they are not lords unto themselves, but they are servants of their lords, who are the Nigerian people. And I hope that all of us must now put this pressure, this kind of pressure, through public advocacy for
Are you? We're having lots of issues. Can hardly hear Barrister.
I think it's still talking.
Well, I think Barrister, we have to leave it at this point because we can hardly hear you. Network is really a very big challenge for us.
It has not.
All right, I think we have to leave it at this point because we can't communicate. Barrister is speaking, but we can't seem to hear and get what he is saying. We have to leave it at this point. Hopefully, next time our connections will be better and our telcos will equally do better because in 2025, it's a global village where telecommunication should be swift, should be reliable, 100%, but a situation where we can't communicate because issues here and there, it's a very big challenge, but we have to leave it at this point. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being part of our show today. And to you, wherever you've watched streams from around the world, thank you. Please do well to follow us. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and stream, if you may, when you visit us at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry.
And I'm Ken, the boardroom.
Have yourself a splendid day. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.